Ion first noticed the strange video on a quiet evening when he was scrolling through old files on his phone, trying to delete storage. It wasn't labeled, had no thumbnail, and the timestamp showed a date he didn't remember recording anything. Curious, he tapped it. The screen flickered for a second before revealing a dimly lit hallway and a single wooden door at the far end. What made him pause was the door's faint glow, a pale bluish shimmer that pulsed softly like a heartbeat. He watched the video again, slowing it frame by frame, but there was nothing else, no people, no movement, no sound. Just that eerie door calling for attention in silence. He wondered if someone had sent it to him as a prank, but there was no sender information. The file seemed to appear out of nowhere. When he zoomed in on the door, the glow intensified slightly, as if reacting to his touch, and he pulled his hand back, unsettled. His room felt colder, even though his window was closed. Later that night, Ion lay in bed replaying the strange sight in his mind. The glow seemed almost alive, like it was calling to him. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the hallway again, stretching endlessly, the door beckoning him closer. He tried to shake the feeling off, but something deep inside whispered that the video was more than it appeared. When he finally drifted into sleep, the last thing he remembered was the soft pulse of light flickering in the darkness. In his dream, he stood in the same hallway, the air heavy with silence. The walls felt colder than ice, and each breath echoed. The door's glow brightened as he stepped forward, lighting the dusty floor. He felt a pull guiding him, growing stronger with every step toward it. Begins the moment Ion wakes up, heart pounding as the image of the glowing door fades from his dream. His room looks normal, morning light filtering through the curtains, but he feels an unsettling heaviness in his chest. The dream hadn't felt like a dream at all, it felt like he had truly been standing in that icy hallway. As he sits up, he notices his phone lying on the pillow beside him. The screen is on, the mysterious video paused at the same moment he last saw, the faintly glowing door. He doesn't remember touching his phone in the night, yet there it is, waiting for him. Ion presses play. This time, the video behaves differently. There's a barely audible hum in the background, so soft he has to raise the volume to catch it. The glow around the door pulses more rapidly, almost as though it recognizes him. Then, for a fraction of a second, a shadow flickers beside the door, tall, thin, upright. His stomach tightens. He rewinds, slows it down, freezes the frame, but the shadow is gone. Still, he knows he saw it. All day at school, the video loops in his mind. He tries to focus on lessons, but every sound seems distant. In the cafeteria, he catches himself staring at doorways, imagining the glow, the hum, the figure. His best friend Zara notices his distraction and nudges him, asking what's wrong. He considers telling her but hesitates. It sounds ridiculous even to him, yet the pull of the mystery grows stronger. That evening, Ion plays the video again in complete darkness. This time, the glow seems brighter, illuminating more of the surrounding wall. Then the hum sharpens, becoming a single, whispered breath, as if something on the other side is trying to speak. A chill runs through him as he realizes the truth: the door isn't just glowing. It's responding. Restless night when Ion finally decides he can't keep ignoring the strange pull the video has over him. Every dream, every flicker of light in his room, every shadow near a doorway reminds him of that glowing portal. The whisper he heard the night before still echoes faintly in his ears, as if it had burrowed itself into his thoughts. He knows he has to find the place shown in the recording, he needs to know whether it's real or just some impossible hallucination. He starts by examining every detail of the video again. The walls in the hallway look old, cracked, and covered in peeling paint. The floor appears dusty, with faint markings like footprints or drag lines. At the corner of the frame, he spots a rusted metal sign half hidden in shadow. After enhancing the image, he can make out faded letters: W.S.E. Building. Warehouse Building. His heart jumps. There's an abandoned warehouse district on the outskirts of town with several derelict buildings. It's a match too close to ignore. The following evening, after making up an excuse to leave home early, Ion bikes toward the forgotten industrial area. The sun is sinking, casting long lonely shadows over the empty streets. Most of the buildings are boarded up, windows shattered, roofs sagging. As he walks through the silent maze of structures, he feels an eerie familiarity wash over him. One building stands out, a narrow brick structure with a rusted metal door and peeling white paint. The letters on the side match the ones from the video. Inside, the air is cold and stale. His footsteps echo as he walks deeper into the hallway. Then he freezes. At the far end is a wooden door exactly like the one from the recording, glowing softly, pulsing gently like a living thing. Before he can react, a sudden gust of wind surges forward, pulling him off balance. The glow flares, swallowing the corridor in light, and Ion feels himself dragged helplessly toward the door as everything around him dissolves into blinding white. When the blinding light fades, Ion finds himself standing in a place that feels familiar yet impossibly altered. The hallway from the warehouse is still there, but everything looks different, sharper, darker, almost as if the world had been drained of color. The walls shimmer faintly, reflecting muted shades of blue and silver. The air feels thick, almost heavy, and when he breathes, the cold stings his lungs. He turns around, expecting to see the doorway he was pulled through, but there's nothing behind him, just an endless corridor fading into darkness. Trying to steady his nerves, Ion calls out, but his voice sounds distant, swallowed instantly by the air. As he begins exploring, he notices strange distortions along the walls, shapes that look like shadows moving independently of any light source. When he steps closer, the shadows peel away from the surface, slithering across the floor before disappearing around corners. They aren't hostile, but they aren't natural either. It feels as though the place itself is alive, watching him. As he walks deeper into the maze-like structure, he reaches a vast chamber where skyscraper-like pillars stretch upward into a ceiling he can't see. In the center stands a dim, pulsating sphere of light. The glow reminds him of the door, soft, rhythmic, alive. When he approaches, the sphere flickers, and suddenly a voice fills the chamber. It's the same whisper he heard from the video, but now it's clearer, almost human. It tells him that the door he saw isn't just a portal, it's a boundary between his world and what it calls the Echo Realm, a place built from forgotten moments, abandoned memories, and echoes of choices never made. The voice warns him that crossing the door awakened a connection. The shadows he's seen are drawn to him now, sensing someone from the other side. Ion feels a chill settle in his spine as he realizes the truth. He hasn't just stumbled into a strange world. He's become a beacon inside it. And something The night of the decisive HOA meeting arrived with an unusual tension in the air. Cars lined the small community hall's parking lot, and residents gathered in clusters outside, whispering about what they expected would happen. For years, many of them had attended these meetings reluctantly, forced into silence by Karen's dominating presence and relentless enforcement of rules. But tonight felt different. Tonight, they weren't just attending, they were taking a stand. Inside the hall, the atmosphere was electric. The board members sat stiffly at the front table, papers neatly stacked, eyes shifting nervously. Karen Whitmore stood beside them, gripping her clipboard so tightly her knuckles were pale. She attempted to greet people with her usual authority, but the room didn't respond with the same fearful compliance. Instead, most residents avoided eye contact, their loyalty finally broken. James entered quietly, taking a seat in the back. He wasn't here to argue or grandstand. His lawyer sat beside him, carrying the thick binder that held every document, transcript, and violation notice they had gathered. James felt a calm certainty settle over him. Whatever happened tonight, it would bring closure. The meeting began with Karen launching into a long, defensive speech about community standards, external threats, and her so-called responsibility to protect property values. She spoke loudly, as if volume could restore the power slipping from her grip. But this time, people didn't nod. They didn't smile. They didn't fear. They listened, arms crossed, waiting. Then the board chair cleared his throat and read aloud the formal complaints filed against Karen, her misuse of authority, her attempts to regulate property she had no jurisdiction over, her intimidation tactics, and her disregard for proper procedure. Each point landed like a hammer. Murmurs filled the room. Karen tried to interrupt, but the chair finally raised his voice and ordered her to sit. After review,